Hey guys! Today I wanted to do a different kind of video. I really want to talk about my unfinished book series. Now, I didn't originally come up with this idea. It actually started with Amira over at Amira's Book Reviews, and I'll put her link below. But I latched onto it because recently I've been on this kick of really wanting to finish all these series that I have started reading over the past years and sort of wrap them up and actually finish off everything. And when I started looking at my Goodreads and the series that I had versus hadn't finished, I went like really far back, like middle school, elementary school back, because I read some good books when I was younger and I never actually finished the series. So I figured I'd talk about them today and share what series I plan on finishing or would like to finish at some point in the future. The first is the Song of Ice and Fire series, which I am most definitely going to finish. Although not all of the books are out at the moment, I have recently picked up A Dance with Dragons, so I have the newest one. I actually found an English mass paperback copy in Austria, which I am super psyched about. So once I finish reading a couple other books that I brought with me, I'm going to move on to this one, and I will work my way through the series. Next is the Millennium Trilogy. This is Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, Girl Who Played with Fire, and Girl Who the Hornet's Nest. I have read the first two, and I have the third book, but it is at home. It was one of those books that I debated bringing with me to Europe, but then it just turned out to be too heavy, too large, so I am definitely also going to finish that series. That won't happen until I at least get home. Third is the Uglies series. This has been gaining some popularity recently on BookTube. I actually read Uglies and Pretties a long time ago, like so long ago I don't really remember much of the story other than the very basic of what happens in that world. And I never read specials or extras. By the time I picked up specials, it had just been way too long. So I would like to get the new 4 box set, the complete series, and just start from the beginning and reread them all over again because they're really good books. I remember them being really awesome. Fourth is the Maze Runner series. I read the first book, The Maze Runner, and actually do have a review for it. I have not continued reading the series yet. I liked The Maze Runner, but I didn't love it, so I wasn't really pushed to keep going, even though I do have a copy of The Scorched Trials at my disposal. So that will eventually happen, but not guaranteeing what time it will happen. Next one is A Series of Unfortunate Events. What's really sad about this one is that I read books 1 through 12 when I was younger, and I never read the end, book 13. I don't know why. I guess I just caught up and I was waiting for it to come out, and by the time it came out, I just wasn't really in that mindset anymore. But I really want to finish the series, and part of me wants to buy the box set and own them all because I don't own any of them. But I'm also afraid that if I start from the beginning and start reading them over again, I'm going to not like the story as much because I'm older and they are sort of written for a younger audience. But I feel like that 13 box set would just look so glorious on my bookshelf. I mean, Following A Series of Unfortunate Events is the Chaos Walking series. I read the first book, The Knife of Never Letting Go, by Patrick Ness, and the review is also on this channel. That one, I really didn't like it as much as I wanted to, and I feel like if I ever do finish this series, because I want to, it'll be more because I want to actually complete it, and I feel like I'm obligated to more than for funsies. It's just kind of the way I am. Number 7 is the Mediator series. I have been wanting to read these again for like the longest time. Katie at Chapter Stacks recently mentioned them, and they were pretty popular back when I was younger. They're by Meg Cabot, and they're not like super girly books like her Princess Diaries series and a lot of the other stuff she's written. It's about this girl who can see ghosts, and it was really cool, and I think I read the first 3, and I haven't read the last 3 yet, but I'm definitely gonna buy them and finish the series because I feel like even now I would really love them. Unfortunately, they don't sell it in a box set, and all they have now that I can find in the Book Depository are bind-ups of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so 3 bind-ups, and they have the worst covers, like super girly, paranormal thing going on, like way too much like most of the covers look like now, and I really wish that they could go back to the original covers that look like this because they were just so much cooler. Next is the Across the Universe series by Beth Revis. I read the first book, Across the Universe, and it was pretty good. I feel like at some point I will get to A Million Suns and Shades of Earth, but it's not at the top of my list. However, they are really, really popular on BookTube, so I feel like because I'll keep seeing them, I'll eventually get to that point where I'm like, yeah, you know what, I'm in the mood to pick this up, to read A Million Suns. Next one's a bit of a throwback, the Artemis Fowl series. I think Ian Colfer finally finished the last book, and so it is possible that there could be a complete set in the works or available at some point, but I believe I read the first 5 of them, and I read the first one when I was so young, I don't even think I understood completely the concept of what was happening, but as I got older, I liked them more and more, and so I really think now I would like them because I can really understand what's going on, and once again, the concept was really awesome, and all the covers, at least the ones on the first 5 that I read, were really, really cool. They all had the very different designs. I just remember loving the first one because the cover was so freaking shiny. I would love to be able to buy those in a box set and read them. The next 2 series are sort of, I don't think I'll ever finish them, but I did read the first book and I'm still, you know, slightly interested in finishing them. The first one is the Sookie Stackhouse series, which is what the TV show True Blood is based off of. I read and owned the first book and it was pretty good, but I don't know if I'll ever get to it. And also the Stephanie Plum series, I read the first 2 and they were fun, like kind of chick books that you would read at the beach, you know, like a murder mystery, but a fun murder mystery. And that would be something that if I was going on a vacation, I would just get a bunch of them and go, but I don't necessarily know if that's ever going to happen. The last 3, we're going to take a jump back to, this is like my elementary, early middle school days that I was talking about. I have 3 series that I read then that I haven't read in a really long time, but I remember really, really loving them, and part of me still wants to finish them. The first is the Confessions of Georgia Nicolson series. I remember I saw the movie when it came out and it was cute, but I just love, it was very like, it just seemed so British to me reading them. They were just full of such quirky humor that I feel like even now at 21 I would really love them. I believe I read through book 5 and there's 9 or 10 of them out, so I still have a whole other section to read, but they were just really fun and I actually really like the new covers that they've done. They look really good. The other one is the Pendragon series. I've read up through number 7. I figured this out as I was going through Goodreads the other day, and there's at least 9 or 10, and they were just really cool, and I remember you kind of follow the main character as he's growing up, and it was all these different worlds, and I just thought it was so awesome. Lastly, there is the Children of the Red King, or as I feel like they're more commonly known, the Charlie Bones series. I loved this one because the characters all had special powers, and I freaking love books where that's the case, where everybody has superpowers, and especially as a young kid when I hadn't read as much stuff concerning that, coming across that series was like a gold mine for my imagination. I love Charlie's powers, I love seeing everybody else's cool powers. Harry Potter obviously was like my one true love, but the Charlie Bones series was another really awesome fantasy series that just kept my imagination running around and happy, and I know I read the first 3 and there are definitely more, so I would love to give those another shot at some point. Yeah, that's all my series. I know it's a lot, but I've read a lot in my past years of living, so I have a lot of series that I never quite finished but would love to. Feel free to share your series that you would love to finish but haven't gotten around to below, and if you like making videos, feel free to leave it as a video response to Amira because she's the one who started it. Thank you guys very much for watching. I really, really want to go read a bunch of books now. As always, all of our links are in the doobly-doo. Feel free to check them out, and I will see you guys later.